that you ran towards, and I'm touching it now, right?
Yes.
And at the point that you started running, were you out of sight of this picture? In other words, were you farther to the right, farther towards Oregon than this picture shows?
It's close. I'm not sure. It's possibly.
So you ran from a position somewhere out here. Is that about right?
No.
Okay, put your finger, let me change colors so we can get where you're saying you were at. Okay, now you can touch where you say you were at. The point I'm talking about is a point in time before you run from the street over to the white car.
Yes.
Okay.
So I wasn't as close to the sidewalk, so I was in somewhere in this area, somewhere in here.
Would that be like right behind the fender of Officer Hawley's car?
No.
Would you be more towards the sidewalk, and that direction would have been to the east?
No, in the middle of the street, but south of the bumper.
Oh, all right. So out towards the edge of where the red arrow is.
Yes, in that
All right.
area.
And then you ran back out here to where the white car is.
Yes.
And at that point, you stopped. You looked for Bryan, and you fired off 3 more shots.
No, that's not. I looked back, as I was running, I looked back and saw what he was doing, and then I stopped and fired.
And you fired 3 shots.
I don't know how many.
All right. Do you know that you hit this white car that's pictured down here, where the arrow is now?
No,
You know that, so you don't know you hit it twice?
that's correct.
All right. Do you know that you hit a house that was farther to the east?
No,
Do you know that you hit 2 trailers that were on the other side of 59th Avenue and a block farther east?
no.
When you stopped running, okay, you left the scene where Officer Hawley and Bryan are standing, and you ran, and you ended up somewhere out in the street, and you turned and you pointed your gun. At some point, you started firing, right?
No, I didn't just, like you demonstrated before, I didn't just turn and start pointing my gun. No, I didn't do that.
Were you aiming at that trailer house 3 blocks away?
No,
Were you aiming at the car down the street?
no,
Were you aiming at the house down the street? At all times, you were aiming at
the guy who was shooting at me.
Bryan, right?
Yeah, the guy who was shooting at me.
And we can tell where you shot from where your bullets landed, at least those that were recovered, right?
I don't know. I don't know that that's accurate or not. I'm not a ballistics examiner or some type of a trajectory examiner. I don't know.
Okay. You don't know anything about trajectory of bullets?
Well, I know very basic information, like I know a bullet generally flies straight until it hits something, but I certainly do not have the knowledge to look at where bullets are and from that determine it. I couldn't do that, and so I don't know if that's if somebody could.
But if a bullet's in the ground, and we found it in the ground and it came from your gun, we can assume that that was the direction you were shooting.
I don't know. I don't know that we could just automatically assume that without seeing if the bullet hit something else or,
Do you remember hearing any ricochets?
no.
You do remember firing at Bryan as he's running.
Yes.
And you remember firing at him as he rounded the corner.
No, as he was trying to, I fired at him until he got to the corner and was out of my sight, but I was firing at him before that.
Did you fire at him before he got to the corner?
Yes.
Okay. I want to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 310.
You may.
Does this open grass area look like the same open grass area that we're talking about being at the scene?
Yes.
Do you recognize this scene?
Yes.
Is this at approximately the corner of 60th Avenue in Oregon?
Yes.
Move for the admission of Exhibit 310.
The objection?
No objection.
Exhibit 310 is admitted.
You see the little 17 on the yellow sticker? Oh, okay. Forgot about that. Hang on, let's see. All right. So I've now wiped all the color off the picture. Do you see the 17?
Yes.
Do you know where your bullets landed?
No.
Do you think there was anything between you and the road and that number 17?
Between me and the road?
You said you were in the road. When you were in the road, is there anything between you in the road and number 17?
Well, the defendant could have been.
Is that where you hit him?
I don't know.
Oh. Do you remember seeing him take a tumble?
Yes.
Was he in front of this house when he took a tumble? Or had he rounded the corner?
He was, when you say in front of the house, he was west of the house, of the building.
So when you shot him, was he between the area indicated by that blue line?
Yes.
You know where he was when you hit him?
Exactly to scale, no.
And he rounded the corner and headed east on Oregon, right?
I don't know.
You saw him round the corner,
Yes.
okay? And that would be east on Oregon.
Yes.
And you saw him east on Oregon.
No.
Saw him laying east on Oregon.
No, when he rounded the corner, I don't know where he went.
By the time you next saw him, he was laying on the ground in front of one of these apartments just east on Oregon.
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, he was somewhere located near the sidewalk where I just put the blue dot.
No.
Where was he?
He was farther east and closer to the building.
So even farther east than that dot?
I don't know. He was farther, I would say in that general area, but I don't know exactly.
Okay. So obviously he ran from where the blue line ends, that I just touched again, up to somewhere in the area of that arrow that I just touched, right?
I don't know what he did after he rounded that corner.
Okay. You remember running back to try finding him and seeing his sunglasses laying on the ground about here?
I did, were you talking about when I ran up to him?
Yeah.
When I ran up to him, I did not notice the sunglasses.
Later, did you notice the sunglasses?
Yes.
Okay. And those are the same sunglasses he had on?
Yes.
And did you notice his man purse somewhere up in this area?
I will tell you that I'm uncomfortable with, he described it as his purse.
What?
I would not call that, that's not a man purse, a purse to me.
Okay.
But what he had around his neck, yes.
Okay, so whatever we're going to call it.
Well, it's whatever he called it.
But for purposes of today, whatever we're going to call it, it was laying near the arrow I just drew.
In that area.
And his cell phone was somewhere in this area.
I don't remember.
You ever see his cell phone on the ground?
No.
Okay, all right. So if number 17 is a bullet strike, and whatever this number is to the right, or his sunglasses, that's the general path he ran, correct?
Yes.
And he continued, most likely, to where his satchel was, whatever we're going to call it, right?
And you're saying that's identified somewhere, it's in the same area, so that's the general path that he took.
And do you know that one of your bullets went right through that satchel?
Yes.
So we can assume that and it literally severed the satchel from you. You're aware of that, right?
No.
Broke the strap as it went through it and severed. If I'm correct, and the satchel is up here, then we can assume that the basic pattern he ran was south on 60th and east on Oregon. Right?
Yeah, except the only I would say that he ran and then crawled around that corner, and then I don't know what physical mechanism he used to get east of there. I don't know.
Okay. In the order of your shots, what is number 17 if that is a bullet strike mark?
I don't know.
What did you shoot at first?
The defendant.
Did you hit him?
No.
What'd you shoot at second?
The defendant.
Did you hit him?
I don't know.
What'd you shoot at third?
The defendant.
What'd you hit?
I don't know.
At any point did you hit this house?
I don't know.
You ever seen pictures of the strike where you hit the house?
No.
Okay. Do you know what you shot? Do you know what you shot at on your 5th, 6th, or 7th shots?
Yes.
What?
The defendant with the gun.
Do you know what you shot at on your 8th, 9th, or 10th shots?
All of my shots were I shot at the defendant with the gun, who had the gun.
Well, the last 3 shots you'll give me, you weren't shooting at him, you were just firing off warning shots.
Oh, you are absolutely wrong.
Oh, okay.
That's not true.
All right. So at the point that you are, where'd that one go? Oh, I could probably give it back. Showing you what's marked as Exhibit 311. At the point that you are, oops,